So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. All right, here's the quinoa here. I have it in my, I think it's called a nut bag. I'm not really sure what it's called, but it has a netting. And I put the quinoa in here because I noticed my strainers, a lot of times the quinoa is so small, I can't really strain it in anything else because it'll fall out. So I just filled it with water and I'm kind of mixing it out. They say it's good for you to rinse off your quinoa because if you don't, when you cook it, it'll end up having a bitter taste to it. And I like this because I can easily get the liquid out of it. I'm going to pour this out. And I don't know if you can see that water's pretty brown. It's nice that you're washing it, right? You think it's clean. No. You got to always clean your stuff. So there we go. I'm going to go and put some more water in it. And I'm just using my hand kind of like a dishwasher. So here we go. And that's good. And I'm just going like this with my hands in the water so I can clean off the quinoa. And I think I'll give it one more pass. And my other vegetables, I'm not going to cook it with it because they're already, I've roasted those vegetables you see. I prepped those and I roasted them already. Wow, it looks better. So I'm going to go ahead and just cook just the dehydrated beans, and I'm going to cook this quinoa. It should cook in around 8 minutes after it reaches pressure. Or follow your direction on how to cook quinoa if you're doing it on a regular stove. But if you use an electric, it's, you know, when it gets to pressure, after it gets to pressure, you want to go ahead and cook it for like 8 minutes, maybe. And then your quinoa should be done. That's what's nice about a pressure cooker. They're nice. You can cook so much faster. You can also do it in a slow cooker. It's just going to take a little bit more time. I don't know if you can see the water. It's so much clearer. Alright. So I'm going to get the water out of it. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the pot. Put the dehydrated beans in the pot. And then I'm going to put my beef base stock in there to get it cooked. And I want to be able to have a lot of stock with it. So I'm not going to do the measurements. Because a lot of times they say if you're cooking 1 cup of quinoa, then you want to go ahead and use 1.5 cups. It's just different textures, so that's what I go off. Some people can use 2, kind of like rice, but I'm going to go ahead and fill it up even more because I want to make a soup out of it. So let's go ahead over there. Okay, here's the pot. I'm going to go ahead and put in the quinoa. And this is around 1.5 cups of it. And then here are the dehydrated beans. Normally if you want to rehydrate them back, you go and get hot water, pour it over it, and you can go ahead and double the water, or like let's say you, or not double it, but maybe double it in half. So I'm going to pour this in here too. And then this is the chicken base here. First I want to put the water. Right here I have around 8 cups of water. I'm going to go and put this in. Because remember I told you I wanted to have stock with it. And then this right here is around close to 1 cup. Let me go on and fill it up a little more. I'm going to pour it in. That's the chicken base. And I'm pouring it in here because I'm trying to get all the flavor out of it. It's beautiful looking. Now if you want it salty, you can add more salt and stuff like that. You know, you can try it. Yep, that's that good chicken base. Now this is going to reduce a little bit because the beans are going to take some of the liquid. So I may want to add a little bit more liquid to it. Now I'll just do 8. That's fine. So now I'm just going to bring this to the pressure. And I'm going to cook it after it reaches pressure. I'm going to cook it for 8 minutes. And then after that, while I'm doing that, I'm going to get all the rest of the food. Because all the rest of the food is cooked, so I don't want to double cook it. Alright, here's the chicken I have. This is how I cut the chicken so I can be able to make it more. The juices in it, I saved that. Because you can use that to make you some, you know, gravy, some stock, you know. Don't throw that away. I'm going to put this in the soup. I'm just going to set this aside. Perfect. And then I'm going to cut it into little bite-sized pieces. You can really stretch meat. These are just the little pieces of it. Prepping saves so much time. I just love it. Makes it so much easier for me to cook. So this is what I end up doing. Okay. Maybe this is 3/4 of a pound. I don't know. I just, if the turkey, not turkey, but if the chicken breast is bigger and we get more meat, great. If we don't, that's great too. So this right here is going to actually feed 9 people. This is a way that you can really stretch your meat, so everyone be able to get some. Because if you go to the store, or if you go to places, different food places, fast food places, you can get a whole chicken breast and eat it yourself. Or, like this right here, this just makes it a lot. And that's not a huge amount, but it's okay. It's a way to stretch your meat. So that's done. So I'm going to get everything all chopped up. So as soon as it's done, all I'm going to do is just put it in there and let it cook for an additional 2 more minutes. And it should be done. Alright. Here's the bell peppers here. The way I have them cut, I could put them in whole, but I want to kind of chop them. I'm going to do a rough chop on them. So I'm going to go in and put it on in. And I'm just doing all this while it's taking time to come to pressure. And this is around 2 medium onions. I think maybe 1 medium onion and 1 small onion. Maybe even 2 small onions. I'm not sure. So I'm just gonna... And these were roasted. So they're already cooked some. I just want it to be cooked or chopped a little bit more. I'll put those in. It's a little rougher. Here's the... I could leave these whole so we can have it. Maybe I'll do that. Nah, I'll chop it up too. And what's nice is what I'm doing, these are just ideas, remember? Do what's works for you. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and give that a quick buzz. Alright, here it is, roughly chopped. And you can make it as thick or as small or as thin as you like. This works for me. This is all going to go into the soup. Here's the rest of that chicken gravy. Not chicken gravy, but the chicken stock when I cooked it. And here's the green beans and the corn. And there we go. So the only thing I'm waiting on is the beans and the quinoa. This is going to go into it, and then we can have a nice hearty soup. So while the rest of it hasn't reached pressure yet. So what I'm going to do is just clean up. And, you know, dinner's not going to be too bad. It's healthy, it's good, and I don't have to feel guilty. And I'll be back. Here's the mixture here. This right here is some garlic that I have. It's already minced. You can use as little as you want I've read that garlic is good for you, so I overdo it. By all means, you don't have to do that. You're the cook. So when I say heaping, I mean heaping. So I'm gonna do, see that? I don't know if you can see how big it is. I mean, it's a big old stack. So I'm going to do 2 of them in there. I kind of want to do 3. Again, I told you I way overdo it. I just am. Sorry. And if it's 2, what's it called? They don't use as much. But I overdo it. It's a soup. Why not? It's good for us. So I have everything in here. I'm just mixing it up. Not because I need to, but just because I'm waiting on the what's it called to be made. So technically I can just be doing something else. I've already cleaned up the kitchen. It wasn't hard at all. So I'm just going to go ahead and come back. Still hasn't reached pressure yet, but once it reaches pressure, I'm going to let it cook for 8 minutes. And then after that, then I'm going to put this in, and I'm going to cook it for an additional 3 minutes so all the flavors can mingle and dance together. And then I can taste my stock. If I want to add a little bit more, I'll go ahead and do that. Like if I want it salty enough, I can always add salt if I want to, but I think I'll just use the base. So I'm just bringing you in with everything that I'm doing. Again, you can add more, less, it doesn't matter. You're cooking for your family, and we thank you for that. So we'll be back. Okay, 8 minutes have passed. As soon as the 8 minutes passed, I went ahead and did a quick release. I took the knob off of it and I did a quick release. So now we're going to open it up, see what it looks like in here. Alright. There we go. It's done. We have our beans in here. Now I'm going to take one of the beans out. Yep, it's soft. I'm kind of thinking I want the beans to go a little bit more. I'm gonna let it go 5 more minutes. Be back. All right, it's been an additional 5 minutes. It came to pressure pretty quick because it was already hot. Okay. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and pour this into it. Look how much more it turned into. This right here is a 6 quart, and it's almost at the 2/3 line, basically. But look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Look at all this goodness in a cup, or not a cup, but in a pan for your loved ones. So I'm gonna go ahead and let it cook. I'm gonna let it come to pressure, let it cook for like a minute or so, and then it's gonna be done. I just want it to bubble a little bit, so it doesn't really have to come to pressure. I just want it to like at least boil a little bit for like 3 minutes. I just want to kind of merge the flavors together. Take this off. Alright, I'll bring it back. Alright. I've had it on the burner around 5 minutes. Letting it all marry together. I tasted it. I wanted a little more saltier. Instead of just adding salt, I did 2 more heaping spoons of 2 more heaping tablespoons of that chicken base or beef base. I'm gonna put that in. Gonna make it taste goody. So I'm gonna try it again, and I think this is done. You could serve this with some biscuits, some bread that you toasted, rice, noodles, eat it as is. There's so many things you can do with this, which is really nice. Sorry, in the background, that's me. up real quick. I try to clean as I go so when I'm done, I don't have all these dishes that I have to do. Okay, I'm going to try it again. Okay, it's hot, so get the air out of it. Blow on it. I think that's good. We're done. I'm gonna go ahead and plate it up. I'm just gonna put a bowl of it in there. You can serve it over cornbread too. I'm just gonna go ahead and serve it with some cheese over it. And I think I'll give my mom some saltines with it because she likes that. Everyone else can choose what they want to eat with it. But it's versatile, but this is nice and healthy and great. All right. Here it is plated. And I just served it with some crackers. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and definitely God bless.